This episode has been brought to you by me and my business, Lauren Grace Inspirations. I am a channel of the light and work with spirit guides, angels, the higher self, and passed over loved ones to provide you with support, clarity, and encouragement. Using oracle cards, mediumship, and clairvoyance, my readings will leave you feeling comforted and empowered. I have various reading options available, ranging from 30-minute readings to 60-minute readings to group sessions. I also work with professionals to help them gain clarity in business and life purpose. To book a reading with me, simply head to laurengraceinspirations.com. Hello and welcome. Lauren Grace here. I am a business and life mentor and a medium, and I'd like to welcome you to my Tuesday night show. You might be like, girl, where have you been? Have you been slacking? And the answer is no. I haven't been slacking, but I haven't been here either. I am so excited, though, to be here with you today and to be on today's show. And just a friendly reminder that if you'd like a reading from me, please do leave a comment. Let me know. Please go ahead and share the live as well. And if you are new, let me know. I would absolutely love to get to know you. I want to thank you so much for your support. And a couple of things that I want to say as well, just sort of off the top here, is that I am a business and a life mentor. I'm also a medium and a clairvoyant. One of the things that I really, really like to reinforce all of the time, and I can't do it enough, is that the journey ahead is yours to shape. So it's really important to remember that you are in control of your life. You are powerful, you are strong, you are a sovereign being. And it's important to never lose sight of that, never lose sight of your inner guidance, never lose sight of your ability to be able to make decisions to take you where you want to go or away from it. And to remember that you are a powerful, powerful being. And so when I'm here and I'm channeling information from source energy and I'm getting signs and messages from spirit that has passed over, it's really about remembering that you need to run everything through your own filter and run it through your own heart and your own truth, and that the journey ahead truly is yours to shape. And that's something I really want to reiterate and reinforce to you. And I also want to say that I will never DM for readings. So sometimes what happens on these lives is people come on out of the woodworks and they start DMing and pretending to be me. I will never do that. I will never solicit for readings. So I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there as well. Okay, so what I'd like to do, if you feel comfortable, is I'd like to take a moment. I'd like us to just arrive in the moment now. 6 o'clock here in Australia. And one of the things that I think sometimes is that we need to really center ourselves, connect at a heart level, and then we can go ahead and do some readings and see what Spirit has to say. See what Spirit has to say. All right. So if you want to close your eyes, if you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, and if you feel comfortable, I just want you to put your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your left hand. And I just want you to arrive in the moment here and now and give yourself just a couple of moments to just really connect with your breath. Maybe you can feel your heart beating underneath your hands. And just arrive in the moment. And if you feel comfortable, I want you to repeat the affirmations that I'm going to say aloud, or just you could say yes, even in your head. But just before we get to that, let's just take a few breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in through the nose and out through the mouth. I am enough. I am peaceful. I am brave. I am kind. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am enough. I am enough. Just before you open your eyes, I just want you to think about someone that you love so much. It could be a friend or a partner or a family member, an animal. I just want you to think about that person just for a minute. And I just want you to imagine them surrounded by so much love and light and happiness, and just feel that for a moment. Perfect. All right, let's get started. So what I'm going to be doing today, well, we'll see if spirit jumps in terms of souls. We'll see whether or not we get any past lives. This sometimes happens. Getting a lot of starseed energy as well coming through. So we may have some encounters of that nature. We might get some guides coming in. I'm a channel as well. So what I tend to do is when I'm connecting with someone's energy, spirit just sort of jumps in and just says all the things that need to be said. One of the things that I always like to say too off the top when I do these sessions is kind of explain to you or tell you something that's maybe going on, maybe a theme that's sort of happening at the moment. And the message today from Source is really a lot about paying attention to who you're spending your time with. And so I did a little bit of a reading on TikTok earlier, and I got the card Fishbowl. And when I was reading that card, they really wanted me to bring that message forth for you today, because they really wanted you to really be aware that sometimes when we're living within our own little fishbowl, when we're living in our own environment, one of the things that we forget sometimes is that we actually need to sometimes step out of what is familiar, and we need to look and exploring new ideas. You know how I was talking earlier off the top about how the journey ahead is yours to shape? Well, for me, in my experience in life here on planet Earth, in this incarnation, is that I am the kind of person that I want to learn lots of different things. I want to learn different ideas. I want to learn different modalities. I want to be inspired by different authors and different speakers and different presenters and podcasts and teachers. And I want to do that because I'm sort of like detective. I'm like a detective, and I'm sort of sifting through everything to find where I belong and where my truth is. So that one of the things that they want to talk about for you is, are you taking enough time to really kind of explore maybe the different opportunities that are available to you? Sometimes what we do is we tend to do a lot of the same thing all the time, right? We get up at the same time, we follow the same routines, and we sort of get in little habits or little patterns. And what we're doing is we're sort of remaining where we are. It takes a different action to actually encourage us to sort of step out of who we are and learn and grow. And I believe that we are here to learn and to grow. And so we need to do things that are going to take us to the next level, that are going to push us a little bit, that are going to get us to look at things from a new perspective. So the big message today is, can you do that? And have you been doing that? And if you have been doing that, how are you integrating some of those teachings, the ones that really resonate with you? Are you writing down those ideas? Are you reinforcing? I'm listening a lot right now to Stuart Wilde, and he's just incredible. I just love his work. And as soon as I finished one of his audiobooks, what I did is I went back and I listened to it again right away, because I wanted to make sure that I was really getting everything that he has to say. Now, there's no way that if you're familiar with Stuart Wilde, you're going to get everything he has to say. Listening even twice, 3 times, 4 times, probably the same as Abraham Hicks's work, which I listen to all the time too. But when you actually take the time to go back and listen again, you hear things in a different way, and the information also sits with you in a different way. Okay, so I see I have a lot of comments. I know you're all like, girl, just tell me what I want to know. All right. Thank you for all the messages. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Lauren Grace. If you are new, please let me know. Oh, Lisa's saying there's lots of cracking noises. That really sucks. Maybe it's my earrings. Let me take them out. And if you could let me know if that changes. Thank you for telling me. I was actually sort of wondering whether or not this microphone has sort of, that was it. Okay, thank you very much. There was actually a reason. I totally forgot why I never record my podcast wearing earrings. That's exactly it. Oh, you guys, thank you so much for letting me know. I'm going to make a note of this for future. No earrings. All right, cool. So let's get into it now. Let's go ahead and do some readings. And if you are new, okay, way better. Thank you so much. You guys are probably telling me, and here I am just lying, just talking to you, not even reading the comments until right now. So thank you very much. All right, let's go ahead. Here we go. Who's going to be new? I mean, who's going to be new? Who is going to be first? All right. Fleur, let's go with you. Fleur Littleton. All right, I'm just going to look, listen, and feel and see what comes up for you. So the minute I connect with your energy, I'm feeling really heavy in the chest area. That's really making me feel about emotions. Could be emotions of the heart, but it could also be, I get that. A lot about clearing. They're talking about a lot about clearing, like transition, like you're working through stuff that's sort of going on right now. So it's almost as though there's like a need to continue the clearing. Okay. I feel like there's a bit of a heaviness around the heart area. So it could be that there's something emotional that's really kind of weighing you down. But what they're talking about is that I feel that you're making steps to clear that energy. I'm also getting a lot of purple coming through. So when I'm getting purple, that's all crown chakra energy. That's all about divinely guided and connected to your purpose. I feel like for you, you're actually very empathic and you're really aware. I get that indigo. They're really aware that you're like working and moving stuff through. I'm getting a lot of purples and I'm getting a lot of blues coming through with you, like a lot of indigo. This is a lot about intuition. It's a lot about emotion. I really like feel for you that there's this real transition thing that's sort of happening. It's like they want to talk about a butterfly coming out of like a out of like your cocoon, and you're really stepping forward and you're going, oh, I'm emerging now. This is who I truly am. I feel like there's something really cool happening for you right now, but it's kind of like opening up. It's almost like I get that. They're like showing me that you're kind of like opening up and you're going, ooh, I'm kind of looking around. It's like, wow, the world looks different now. What's happened? So that's interesting. What's happened? Can you let me know? One of the things that they're talking about is, I get that. They're saying be very patient on your journey, because sometimes when we're like stepping out of our cocoon, we're like, I'm ready now. Show me everything. We forget that sometimes these things take a little bit of time to transition. I get that. They're also talking about that when you are really stepping into who you want to become, right? You're really like almost making conscientious effort of going, okay, this is who I want to be now. Like I'm going to be moving forward with that. They're talking about the importance as well as grounding. So sometimes people, and myself included, we can get really in la land, really in our head and really up here. And we kind of forget that we also need to exist down here at this level. So they are talking about doing some things to really support yourself and support your root chakra in particular. You can work with Archangel Shekinah. She really can help with that. Be in the moment, here and now. Now, they're also talking about clearing and cleansing your soul star. Your earth star, rather, not your soul star, your earth star. So your earth star is like located below your feet. It's like a really low chakra. One of the things that you can do is you can go outside in your bare feet, depending on where you are. Of course, I live in Australia. It's not winter yet here, or it's coming into summer. I'm sure you can see from behind me. But what you want to do is you want to go out, you want to put your bare feet on the grass if you feel comfortable with that. And then you just want to like stand almost with your arms completely out. You can close your eyes if you want. You can envision if you want with your imagination, or just know that it's happening, that your earth star is like almost like if you imagine kind of like this ball of light energy, and sometimes it gets kind of gunked up with stuff that we really accumulate. You can bounce on your heels and you can really clear and cleanse all of that energy out. And I normally just do that until I feel intuitively that I've kind of processed the stuff, or I can sort of see that it's gone from being a little bit maybe murky to being a golden light. So that's what I do. So that's what I would recommend for you as well. Now they really are bringing back the purples and the blues. So the purple is all about crown chakra, right? And then the blues is about communication, but I'm also getting indigo for you, which is third eye. So it's a lot about opening up. So maybe you're opening up psychically a lot right now. So that's why when we have all of these things sort of happening and opening for us up here, we've got a lot of movement happening with the emotions and a lot within your intuition as well. That's why you really want to make sure that you're also taking the time to anchor yourself and be here in the moment now, because we can really get away with things. And all of a sudden you're like, what just happened? I just drove 5 blocks and I don't even know where I was. Or I've heard of stories of people, meditating and then really not feeling like themselves for days and days after. So these are some things that I really want you to pay attention to. All right, I'm just going to see if you have any feedback on that. Fleur, I don't know. I'm not going to go back too far. I'm just going to keep on going on for you. But if you have any feedback, if you want to just go ahead and let me know. Okay, I'm also going to pull a card for you while I wait to see whether or not you're here. And we'll just sort of see what else comes up. All right. thank you everyone for all the comments. I'm so happy to be here today and to see all your beautiful, lovely messages and faces. So thank you. I had like 4 cards slip out there, so I'm just going to keep going with that. Okay, cool. This is so funny. So Fleur, I don't know if you were listening before. Okay, you're saying, thank you so much. You're so right. I'm very much in transition right now. Okay, cool. Thank you for your response. So one of the things, I don't know if you were listening to me off the top of the hour here, but I was talking about the fishbowl card. And I was saying that I got that earlier. And of course, I just got that for you as well. So this is the fishbowl card here. I'm just figuring out the best way to show you that on the camera. There we go. And this is card number 5, and 5 is all about change, of course. But then 5 for me, I always read 5s as well. It's like middle of the journey. So kind of, I get that. So what they're talking about is really making sure that you're taking care of your foundation. So it's making sure that you're eating well, you're drinking enough water, you're sleeping properly, you're eating foods that are good for you, not too many processed foods, like that. But they're also wanting you to be really aware of who you're spending your time with. When we have the fishbowl reference, that's really a lot about sometimes how we kind of are getting not lost, but that we're kind of getting stuck almost in our own little world. And we're forgetting that there's this other world outside of us. So because you're really in an expansion time right now, it's kind of giving yourself permission to almost listen to different speakers, listen to different audiobooks, explore different podcasts and things like that. I get that. They're really talking about almost leveraging and working off of the energy that you have going on right now, the momentum. So there's like momentum that's really happening for you. So it's about really understanding that and kind of riding the wave. One of the things that they also want to talk about is they want to make sure that you're writing down your impressions and your ideas. And sometimes what happens to us is we like think of these new things, or we're like hear new perspectives on stuff and we go, oh, I'm going to remember that. And then we forget, right? One of the exercises that I did a little while ago is I put on a movie and I just went through hundreds of my notes and I started writing them down on paper, like actions, things I wanted to learn, inspirational messages and stuff like that. Because I have, almost 2,000 notes, I think. And those are a lot of them from tangents or rants that I end up having when I'm out for walks and getting these new ideas, and I'm documenting them and writing them down. So for you, it's about paying attention to the transition, riding the wave and the momentum of what's coming up for you, making sure you're grounding, paying attention to who you're surrounding yourself with, writing down your intentions and your new impressions. One of the things too is that if you are interested, I say it here at the bottom of the screen, but I have a podcast called the Afterlight Podcast, and I interview lots of different spiritual teachers with lots of really cool different ideas. So if you are looking for a resource in which to listen to people with different ideas, and I'd really want to strongly encourage you to check that out. And then again, remember, the journey ahead is yours to shape. So you are in control, sisters. So I hope that you found that helpful, and thank you very much for your feedback and for letting me read for you. Thank you. All right. So if you're just joining me, my name is Lauren Grace. I'm a business and I'm a life mentor as well. And I do specialize in time management. And I do find that funny. I do understand that sometimes it doesn't seem like that's on brand, but one of the things that I realize is that we are only here in this incarnation this one time. And one of the things that I see a lot of people doing is wasting time. And when they waste time, they waste their life. And one of the reasons why I do these readings for you, and I do these readings for you for free, is because I want you to feel empowered to remember that you're in control of your future and your life. And that, every passing minute is a chance to turn it around, and you are capable of having the life that you want to live. We're meant to live a life of joy. We're meant to live a life of ease. We're meant to live a life of grace, and that doesn't mean that we don't have difficult times. I understand that. And when we know what we don't want, we better know what we do want. But when we know that we can step into our power and become who we truly are, that is when our whole world of opportunity shows up. And I believe that when we learn to manage our time, we don't get overwhelmed. We learn how to prioritize. We stop procrastinating. We get on with the job and we do what we came here to do. So what I've done is I've created a free challenge. It's 10 days of a free challenge. I'm going to post it right now, but it's in the comments. It's called Empower Productivity. So if you are somebody that struggles with time management, if you are interested in improving in time management, I have a powerful time management course called Powerful Productivity for the Spiritual Professional. But this free challenge is actually a really great start to get you prepared to take that course. So go ahead and sign on there if you'd like to. And yeah, it's all free. And then I email you, because then you're on my email list and I can send you card readings, inspiration, and fun stuff like that. So yes, go ahead and register for Empower Productivity. Okay, let's see who's next here. Kaya, where did you go? Kaya Totoriwa Wanua. I'm really sorry if I didn't pronounce your name properly. So Kaya, if you are here, please let me know. I'd love to do a little reading for you. Cool. As soon as I connected with your energy, I heard like drumming, and I heard the song. I'm just listening. I'm listening, looking, and feeling. 1 second. It's funny because I actually had this song happen to me. I don't know if it was like last year. I don't remember a lot of my readings because that's my intention, is to let it go when I'm done here. But there was like a drummer, and I heard this drumming. It was shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on. You know that song? I'm talking to you. Come on. So one of the things that I'm hearing is shout. So I wonder whether or not there's a communication thing that's happening, whether or not you need to free your voice. I get that. They're also talking about how you need to say things and people need to hear your story. They're talking about sharing your story with other people. They're showing me a vision of you at like the front of a room, and you're like sharing with other people your story. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps and I feel really emotional as well when I'm doing this. The room that I'm looking at is like almost like a classroom. So it's really interesting. It's like not like a hall, but really makes me feel like a classroom, and like people are sitting there and they're having some kind of a meeting, and then you're sharing your story and really empowering and supporting a lot of other people. I'm feeling really emotional when I'm sharing this with you as well, like when I'm getting that vision. And I'm feeling like there's a lot of women that are going to be really supported by what you have to say. So that's a really powerful message. And I'd love to know whether or not that resonates with you, whether or not you've heard that message before. I really do feel like there's something for you to do here. I'm just listening, looking, and feeling to 1 sec, because I feel like there's stuff coming through. I don't know if you're a religious person, but I keep wanting to talk about the kingdom of heaven. And I'm not religious, so I'm not really familiar with what the kingdom of heaven would be about. But one of the things as a medium, which if you've ever had readings before, is that we need to deliver the messages that we get without kind of adding the story and censoring them. So I am getting, I'm getting like the kingdom of heaven is within you. So there's something about that. But I think that a big part about what the messages are coming through is a lot about you rising into your power. That's what they're really talking about. It's like rising in your power. They want me to talk about the phoenix rising. So it's almost like I can see like fire, and then the phoenix, the beautiful phoenix bird rising from the ashes and coming out and being like, I'm so much more powerful now because I went through that, and I've been able to transition and move out of it and step out of it. And I really feel like there's so much that you can share with other people, impart with other people about your story. I feel really emotional. I'm just going to see if you've got any messages. Okay. So you're saying that you are struggling with a lot of conflict around you and who you are, and you feel pretty lost. Okay. One of the things that I think is really important to remember is that we don't have to do anything quickly, right? Life, sometimes we have this feeling that we need to hurry up, right? But we actually need to just move with intention and move with the pace and the power that we're at. And so sometimes it's about embracing that we don't really know where we are right now. And that's okay. Sometimes I go through that too, where I go, all right, I feel a little bit disjointed. I feel a little bit confused. I'm a little bit maybe lost right now. And so when I'm in that situation, these are some of the things that I do. I go for walks in nature by myself. I talk out loud to my spirit team, especially when I'm driving with my windows down. I listen for any messages or anything like that that drops in. Journaling is always good. I don't personally journal a lot, but I know a lot of people who get a lot of success from journaling, and then they can burn the pages after, or you don't even need to if that doesn't feel necessary to you. Some of the time, what I do as well is I listen to podcasts and different audiobooks from different teachers. This is really the theme today, I guess, is a lot about how can you look and learn different ways of looking at the world. Can you kind of step outside a bit of your normal habits and see whether or not you can listen to new ideas, you can check out different audiobooks, new podcasts, new ways of looking at the world? Because sometimes when we're feeling a little bit lost, a little bit confused, a little bit not really sure of our next step, sometimes we have to wait for more information. Sometimes we have to be a little bit more proactive, and we have to get out there and we have to search for new ideas and new ways of looking at things. So the question needs to be asked, what do you want to do? Do you want to wait a little bit for more information? Do you want to maybe try a new hobby or a new habit? Maybe do you want to explore something, a new course or a new activity that you haven't done before, where you could maybe meet new people? So those are some of the things that, you could look at doing if you are wanting to kind of find your footing a little bit and sort of find maybe where you want to land. But a big part about what they're talking about as well is being patient with yourself along the journey and remembering you don't have to have it all figured out right now. And sometimes that's actually the point, is we go, okay, I don't really have it all figured out right now. How exciting is that? That means that there are so many opportunities that could drop in, inspirations, ideas that could drop in at any moment. I get that. They're talking about, though, that when we're open, I get that. We have to invite our guides and our teams to help us, right? So sometimes when we say, hey, can you give me some support? Can you give me some encouragement? Then we need to remember that they're showing us signs all the time, right? They may show you a rainbow, which could be a symbol of new beginnings or checking in with spirit. They may show you maybe an owl, which is, for me, is such a wise bird. It's all about looking at like the wisdom within yourself. It's also talking about history and story. It's also talking about looking at different dimensions. Maybe it's a unicorn that you're going to see on the side of a bus, or you're going to look at your phone and all of a sudden you're going to see 1111, which is guidance and letting you know that you're supported. So it's about starting to notice all of those small little personal, intricate signs and symbols that your team are sending you that are like your own little check-ins. I get that. They're like breadcrumbs along the way, right? So if you go, okay, I'm not really feeling myself right now, I'm going to be patient and compassionate for that. I'm going to understand that I don't need to be on fire every single moment of every single day. And then I'm maybe going to give myself permission to go and have a rest, or have a nap, or go for a walk, or not make any major decisions right now. I'm just going to allow things to just be as they are. I'm just going to be chill. I'm going to be cool with that. And then all of a sudden, you might see something like register at the blah, blah, blah for 50% off today. And you're like, damn, I was thinking about doing something like that. Maybe this is my sign to take some action. Or maybe you're going to be like, all right, there's a new coffee shop that just opened up near me. I'm going to go without my phone. I'm going to sit and I'm going to have a coffee, and I'm just going to be there where I am for a moment. I'm just going to be present. I'm going to see what happens. Maybe I'm going to overhear something, or maybe someone's going to walk by with some inspirational, cool shirt like mine that says, "You are my sunshine." I don't know if you saw that. "You are my sunshine," right? And you're going to go, all right, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling supported. So that's a big part about what the messages are for you today. So I hope that you found that helpful. And I'd love to know so you're saying dealing with family and breaking cycles, and the family not liking the fact that I speak my truth can be difficult. So sometimes it's about finding people that can support you as you do that. And there's a lot of different organizations that are there to help lift up other people, right? To help, help us when we do that. Yeah, but you just have to do what's right for you. You have to follow your own heart and your own intuition. And one of the things that I believe is that when we shine brightly, we give other people their permission to do that as well, right? And so it's just about you honoring where you're at and you doing the things that you need to do that are going to feel good for you. And sometimes it can feel uncomfortable, but as long as you're listening to your own truth, I think that's really important. At least that's the way that I go about my life. So it's about you finding what's going to work for you. And remember, the journey ahead is yours to shape. All right. So let's see who is next, y'all. You're welcome. You just said thank you, and you're so very welcome. And just there's a lot of support out there for you. Just remember that. All right. So who is next? Who's next, y'all? All right. If you want a reading, please let me know. If you are new, please let me know. I think I didn't even use that deck. That was all just channel. It's always funny. I just use the deck sometimes as like a distraction. So when I'm holding the deck, then I can just deliver. Or that's why I always have a pen. Some of my podcast episodes, I'm like writing down all the time, but it's just the way that I think. It's just easy for me to process things like that. All right. So let me see who we've got. Diane Martovnik Radley. You would like a reading. All right. Let's see what we get for you. This card deck is not for you at all. What deck is for you? Let's try this one. Okay. Whoops. All right. And I'm Lauren Grace. If you're just tuning in now, I am a medium, business, and life mentor as well. And I specialize in time management. And if you are a business owner, if you're an employee, if you're a professional, spiritual person, whatever the case may be, I want to strongly encourage you, please, to register for my free 10-day challenge called Empowered Productivity, where I'm teaching you how to become more empowered by giving you 5-minute tips for 10 days. And these are things that you can do within 5 minutes that are really going to change your entire life. In fact, one of the tips teaches you how to get 7 days back a year, believe it or not. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that for you in the chat here. If you're just joining me, hi, Micah, business owner, welcome. So there you go. That free challenge is there for you now in the comments. Okay, Diane, let's see what we got going on for you here. Just looking, listening, and feeling. Just checking in as well to see if there's anyone in spirit, because I kind of feel like there's like an older man here. Let's get you to come through. I feel like I've got an older man here, like in his 60s. I would say that I'm feeling a lot of stuff going on in the stomach area when I'm connecting with him. So that for me is all about the solar plexus. So it could be, I also feel a little bit nauseated. So it could mean that there was maybe painkillers that he was taking at his time of passing. It could also be a trigger for cancer. I feel like that's what's going on here with this particular guy. I do want to put him behind on the left side. I do want to put him on the father side of the family. I'm still trying to see where he lands. I do feel like it could possibly be like an uncle, because I feel like there's maybe a little bit of a branch, but I'm feeling really nauseous. I'm really not feeling good when I'm connecting with his energy. So I feel like his skin was maybe a little bit yellow when he passed. So I don't know if there's something going on with liver or something like that going on, like jaundice. I'm just using words that they're giving me here, but there's definitely something that was going on with that. I'm just gonna, I really want to like, really have it really thirsty. So maybe it's a diabetes thing actually, because of the yellowness of the skin. And then I'm really feeling parched and then nausea. So I'd like to see whether or not, Diane, that makes sense for you. Go ahead and just let me know here in the comments, and we can see if we can place this guy as well. All right, I'm just going to see if I can get any more information from him. I'm just looking and listening and feeling for a moment. Power readings sometimes. Oh, my nose ring's coming out. All right, let me just see here. Just looking, listening, and feeling. I feel like this guy wants to talk about a cat and a dog as well. So I don't know if he had a cat and a dog, or whether or not they're with him in spirit, connected to you. The cat in particular, I want to talk about the cat being black and white. I feel like there's a black and white pattern on this cat's face as well. I feel like it wasn't a big, super big cat, but very soft. I'm just looking, listening, feeling. I feel like this guy was good with his hands, because he's showing me his hands and he's showing me the act of chopping wood, which makes me think that he's active. When I'm seeing chopping wood as well, it could be an indication that where he lived, he had a fireplace. I do want to talk about a fireplace, but it could also be an indication that there's like carpentry or something like that going on. He is showing me his hands, so it's making me feel like he worked a lot with his hands. When I don't see hands, sometimes it means that be more like office work, that kind of thing. But this guy's really showing me his hands. He's kind of showing me that he's like a bit of a rough kind of a dude. Not rough, tough. Maybe not tough or rough, but like somewhere in between the two of them, like a man's man. Yeah, I feel like he drank a lot of like pop, possibly, like soft drink, depending on where you are in the world. And I don't think he always ate very well for himself. He's just showing me as being quite thin. Diane, you're saying your uncle passed of cancer and no cat. Okay, I'm interested in the cat. So it could be a nod to somebody else, whether or not there's a family member or somebody close to the uncle here that maybe has a cat that's black and white. Maybe have a think about that. Sometimes it's also a nod. So they maybe show me something and they'd be like, the cat's connected to somebody that that was maybe close, and he's like almost like taking care of them. So I'm just seeing if there's anything else I can get, and I'm just going to go ahead as well and do a couple of cards for you too, Diane. Just going to see if I can get anything else from this guy. I feel like he's got a really wicked sense of humor. Like he's a really reliable guy. I do feel like he was a smoker as well. I'm really bringing back to the yellow skin. So there's something about that coloring. I don't always feel like he made the healthiest choices, but I feel like he was like really like a really kind person, like really took care of his own. You know, he was really a family sort of oriented guy. Like if you were in his family, he would like take care of you and protect you. And he's sort of like a tough guy. I feel like he didn't really shoot the shit very, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to, like, he was a man of few words in a way. Like he wouldn't kind of waste his words. You know, he was very good at sort of saying the things that he needed to say, and then that's sort of it. But he was also really good sense of humor, and did like to shoot the shit with the people that he loved. So just let me know whether or not that makes a little bit of sense for you. Trying to pick up his personality here a little bit, and trying to do that quickly, which sometimes souls take a minute. I don't know if this guy is connected to like a Donnie, Donald. Don has sort of come up a couple of times for me though now. So I just wanted to bring that up. So whether or not that's this guy's name, or whether there's a nod to another Don or a Donnie. Don could sound like Ron, could sound like that, but I'm really feeling like the D with the Don. Okay, Diane, you're saying yes, makes sense. Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm just going to see if I can get a couple of cards for you as well, Diane. Let me go ahead here. I feel like with this soul here as well, he's kind of like looking down a little bit and like kicking rocks. So it's like there's rocks and he's kind of kicking them. Like he kind of wants to say stuff, but he's sort of not really doing it. He's a little bit reserved and a little bit quiet, but I'm feeling a lot of love from him, and a lot of just like just listening. I'm just going to listen. I feel like yeah, I just think that there's a bit of sadness around his passing too. Like, so I don't know if he passed before he was sort of ready, or if he was quite young when he passed. I mean, for me, he shows like in his 50s, 60s, but I feel like there's a little bit of sadness around that. But, you know, at the same time, you know, he's just kind of like also accepts that things are the way that they are. And I think that, you know, with the animals around him as well, like he's also showing me now, okay, I get that. Now he wants to talk about the joyful side of things, right? He wants to talk about the lightness and the ease and that sort of side of things as well. Okay, so let's pull a couple of cards from you. Okay, he's saying like the animals keep him on his toes. So I kind of like, it's funny because the scene he's showing me, it's almost like the cat and the dog like chasing each other and almost like around him. And so he's kind of like looking around. It's like they're keeping him on his toes. So I feel like there's like a lot of lightness and ease within this like little funny relationship with these two, kind of keeping him on his toes. So I just love that scene. All right, I'm going to pull a card for you as well here. Okay, so your card is the willing release card. And maybe that's a big part about what we're feeling here right now as well. The willing release card is card number 49. And, you know, when we get this card, we see so many beautiful blues in this card. We also see the dandelions. And, you know, when you like blow a dandelion and then you can make a wish, I love that. So that's all about you just like willing yourself to just like allow yourself to kind of be a little bit free. So I don't know for you, Diane, if you're like holding on to some stuff and you're kind of ready to let it go. There's a butterfly here that's within this card. And the butterfly for me is all about transformation. It's about transforming and evolving into who you're ready to become. When we see the blue as well, blue is all about the throat chakra, and the throat chakra is all about the communication. Okay. So when we're getting that, that's all about like, are you communicating? Do you need to communicate? Do you maybe need to support your throat chakra in terms of maybe wearing some blues, maybe wearing different things that I'm eating? I'm trying to think about eating blue foods, like maybe blueberries and things like that, to really support your communication center. It'd be really interesting as well if you're looking at making a career decision. Are you trying to make a career decision right now? Because one of the things that they're talking about is maybe moving into communication. I don't know. Are you a good writer? Do you write a lot of things? It's like they're showing me like admin stuff, like whether or not you write emails or speeches or you do anything kind of like that. It's really interesting because they're showing me a lot about communication and that you have a knack as well for writing things. So I'd love to know whether or not that resonates with you. When we get the 49, 10, 11, 12, 13, that's a 13. So that's a 4. So 4 for me is all about career as well. So it's about, well, when I see a 4, it doesn't actually necessarily need to be about career, but it could also be about goal setting. And then what are you going to do to achieve that goal? So it's kind of like, let's say you want to go here, you want to go to number 10. Well, how are you going to get there? What are the steps that you need to do to really allow yourself to get to number 10? So that's what this card is a lot about for you. It's about really thinking about where do you want to go? What are the things that you want to achieve? And then what do you kind of need to release to allow you to get there? So you just said you just got a job admin doing transport booking. Okay, cool. Because they showed me that you're like doing admin writing, but you're doing transport booking. So I wonder if you do a lot of communication within that role as well, where you're like really communicating with people and like letting them know different stuff. So I really feel like you have a knack for communication. So there may be something for you within this role that, oh, you're saying yes, cool. So yeah, there's something for you within this role where you're like communicating to other people. And I feel like, yeah, okay. I feel like you're like in the middle where people like come to you and you fix problems. It's like you're a problem solver and you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to put that with that and and you like move things together. So I just feel like you have a really good maybe sense of organization as well, really structured. And that because of your strong communication, you're just going to be a real asset in this job. So I don't know if you've been like concerned about how you're going to go, but I just think you're going to do great. This is really showing me that you just are really good at what you're doing. You know how I feel that administrators, they're very often like the glue that holds everything together in businesses. And I just think that this company is really lucky that they got you. So congratulations on that. It's really exciting for you. So I'm going to let you go now. And you have been concerned. Yeah, just remember, you got this. You got the job for a reason. And if you don't know something, just ask. But you have a natural ability to like organize things and to communicate things. And so I just think that remember how powerful you are, how smart you are, all the things that you've done to get to this point. You know, there's a lot of people going for a lot of different types of jobs right now, right? So it's like you got the job. You got the job because they saw something in you. It's important to remember. And I think that people are going to learn a lot from you because of your ability to be able to communicate clearly. So I think it's super exciting. So congratulations on that. So I hope, Diane, that you found that was helpful today. I'd love to thank your uncle as well for being here, playing with the dog and the cat running around. I just think that he's going like this. Oh, geez. Like he's like boop, 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 running around, keeping him busy, keeping him on his toes. All right. So I hope that you found that helpful. And I want to thank you very much for letting me read for you today. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. I'm going to do a little 1, 2, 3 card reading. I do this quite often, and I love doing that because I love the idea that, everybody gets a reading, even if I can't do necessarily a personal one for you. So if you would like a card reading, card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, please do let me know. Card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, and I'm going to go ahead and read for you. All right. So what you want to think about is whether or not, oh, you're so welcome, Diane. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. You taking the time to write that. Thank you. All right. So let me know if you want card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. And one of the things that's important to remember is that you want to think of your situation, and then you want to think of the number. And I don't know if you do this, because I do this all the time, where I always choose the exact same number every time. So maybe today you choose a different number, or maybe you choose the same number because that's where you're going to get your answer. And Spirit always knows to give you your answer there. Okay, so here we go. So card number 1 is a grand symphony, and this is card number 27. And 2 plus 7 is a 9. And 9 is all about end of cycle and gearing up and ready for the next thing. Now, because we have a grand symphony, this is really a lot about music. I always like to reinforce to remember to listen to music that's really going to support you and up level you and make you feel good. But I feel like with the grand symphony, because it's a 9, it's kind of like talking about how the final song is playing, right? And it's the final song, and maybe a situation has been happening and it's sort of wrapping up now, and now you're getting ready for the next step. So that can be really exciting. Sometimes too, when we have change coming, we kind of feel a little bit nervous, but it's exciting because we're detectives, right? It's like when we know what we don't want, we know what we do want. When we know what we do want, we can ask for more of the same. More of that, please. When things are happening for me and I'm just ticking along and I'm loving it, I'm like, thank you, more, please. Bring it on, universe. Keep showing me this, So when we get this card here, this is a lot about kind of almost appreciating the moment, and it's all wrapping up, and then getting ready and being intentional about, well, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do next? It's important to remember, and I get that they're talking about, really paying attention to who you want to become and making decisions that support you there. And I've talked about it many, many times today, but the journey ahead really is yours to shape. So it's remembering your ability to be able to create your own reality. And one of the things that we forget is that we become who we think about most of the time. So talk to yourself nicely, say compliments to yourself, treat your body well, use affirmations, talk to yourself in the mirror, and kind of preparing yourself for the next step, for the next phase. Card number 2 here, this is the quieting the mind card. And this is all about being in the moment, being in the here and the now. And this is card number 32. 3 plus 2 is a 5. 5 is all about change, but it's all middle of the cycle as well. So unlike card number 1, which is things are wrapping up, card number 2, or for my people, number 2, card number 5, 32, number 5, hopefully you're following along with me, is sort of about the middle of the cycle. It's about the middle of the journey. And this is quieting the mind. So we also see here that there's a woman. She looks to me like a woman, and she's sort of sitting in a meditative position, and she's kind of arriving here in the moment now. And one of the things that I love about this card is all the color and light and beauty within her. And she's also showing her chakras are really aligned. So I feel like this card is a lot about the alignment. Now, when we get a 5 for me is also about middle of the cycle, but it's also about coming back to your foundation and making sure that you're really supporting yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So it's kind of like, what am I doing to really support myself in all of these different areas? If you are wanting to look for ways to meditate, there's great resources like Insight Timer and Power You Radio. Those are some of the resources that I use. YouTube's got really great meditations. My podcast, the Afterlight podcast, all one word, Afterlight podcast with Lauren Grace, I've got meditations on there. So it's just kind of creating space for yourself to arrive in the here now moment. One of the reasons why we want to do that we want to be here in the now, is because we make better decisions when we're here in the now. We don't allow ourselves to get as crazy in the head as we would otherwise. It allows us to really center ourselves and to refresh and rejuvenate. And so this is really reminding you about the importance of taking that time out so you can sort of reset and give yourself an opportunity to kind of be refreshed and then continue on. Okay, so people number 3, I saw a couple of you choose number 3. So this is the time machine, and this is so good. And this is card number 3. So number 3 is all about new ideas. Sorry, it's about creativity and new ideas. It's also about ascended masters connecting with you. We also have the 3, like the pyramids. It's about stability, but then we also get the mention of pregnancy. So that's what this can sometimes mean as well. When we see the time machine here, we see like a road that you can kind of walk on, like a pathway, and then almost a portal on the other end of the pathway. And we see numbers there kind of lit up a little bit like a discrete clock. One of the things that we want to remember with the time machine is that time really is relative, and we've really sort of been encouraged, I feel that time is always running out, that time is always ticking, and we have to hurry up. And one of the things that's really important to remember is that we get to where we're going when we need to, and what is meant for us will not pass us by. So it's like, can you look for situations in your own life where you are maybe feeling the need to rush or the need to hurry up, and you're not allowing things to happen at the rate that they need to? Okay, now I know that I'm sometimes guilty of this, where I really want to be where I'm going as opposed to being where I already am, right? And acknowledge and like owning that and appreciating that, and then being able to move to the next step. So this is really encouraging you to appreciate where you are right now and to not be so caught up and worried about the future or the past, that you are where you are. So you could actually take a card off, like a page off number 2, for my people number 2, which is a lot about taking that time out to center yourself and support yourself and be here in the now. So just remember, whenever you feel like I'm running out of time or I have to hurry up, what is meant for you will not pass you by. It's about appreciating things as they are right now, being intentional about where you want to go, but also not living so far in the future that you're forgetting what's happening here in the moment. So I hope that you found that was helpful. If you are just joining me, my name is Lauren Grace. I'm a medium and a seer, and I'm a business and life mentor as well. And I am actually going to wrap up now, a little bit early, I know, but I want to thank you very much for being here. And if you haven't already, I want to encourage you, please, to join my free Empowered Productivity Challenge. This is if you are a business owner, a 9-to-5 employee, or a spiritual professional, and you are maybe starting your own business or wanting to get a handle of time management so you can get more of your life back. And I put the link there in the comments section for you. So I want to thank everyone that let me read for them today. I really hope that I was able to give some value to you. Remember that you are in control of your life, to run everything through your filter, and to remember that you are enough. And I will see you again very, very soon. Oh, Micah, you said you can't find the link. Okay, I'll put the link back in right now, and you can go ahead and register. I'll put it right in. There you go. But wherever you're watching this, I think you're watching on Facebook, it should also be in the post text comment there. Not that I've checked it lately, but it should be there, a link for that as well. So it's called Empowered Productivity. All right. So thank you. Thank you, Micah. And I will talk to you all very soon. And thank you again. Bye. This episode has been brought to you by me and my business, Lauren Grace Inspirations. I am a channel of the light and work with spirit guides, angels, the higher self, and passed over loved ones to provide you with support, clarity, and encouragement. Using oracle cards, mediumship, and clairvoyance, my readings will leave you feeling comforted and empowered. I have various reading options available, ranging from 30-minute readings to 60-minute readings to group sessions. I also work with professionals to help them gain clarity in business and life purpose. To book a reading with me, simply head to laurengraceinspirations.com.